thoughts on the selection of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's not always been the first choice right back for England? You pleased for him? And
yeah.
talk with him?
Both. All the players who are obviously nominated, like Ibu and stuff like this, and you couldn't be sure. But I think with Hendo it was clear, and with Trent is nice. It's a big tournament. It's every player dreams of these kind of things, and he was very pleased about the news, and so yes, I'm very happy for him.
Lots of talent on show in the World Cup. Who do you think will win it?
No idea. I think I could put some pressure on Brazil, but no, I have really no idea.
Okay, reaction to that Carabao Cup draw after the progress against Derby. It's not Manchester City, it's a game that takes place just after the World Cup final, just before the Premier League returns. Does that affect the approach to the game, especially when you're playing such a big team, a big club, in a competition where predominantly you've given others an opportunity? Is it going to continue in that vein?
I have really no idea. So the thing is that we have a pre-season before that game, so the players who will be involved, definitely involved, hopefully will fit enough and stuff like this, have a pre-season. I think that's similar with City. City has definitely more players at the World Cup than we have. So we have to see who is available. That's always was, by the way, always the case. Players' availability and these kind of things, and because of intense schedules, it made always sense to. Let me say it like this: if the game now against Derby would have been the only game in 3 weeks, we would have played a different team. So that's clear. It's not about now. It's not just forcing the kids in, and it's a kids' competition and stuff like this. But we like it in that way. That's how we can use the competition then to show our prospects. And for this game, I have no idea. We will come back from our training camp. Do we know already when exactly we play? No, it's not.
It will be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday even.
Oh, great. Yeah, I will make the decision then around the game.
Just finally from me, Southampton on Saturday, a new manager installed. It's not always the ideal time to play a club with a new manager, with motivated players, etc.
I actually thought Ralf Hasenhüttl did an exceptional job there, and but it's all. Everything has its time, maybe stuff like this, but it's if Southampton showed anything, that was for sure attitude. They were a highly motivated team. They was really going for it and these kind of things. So now, yes, with the manager, there might be an extra few percent. That's possible. Don't know. For us, that's not our problem, because we always expect a really motivated opponent. But of course, we have no real clue. I think there's now not a lot of time to change a lot of things. But what we saw, we had also in our analyze meeting, we had it was half Southampton, half Luton, and just to see what he's doing. So now we have to show, but because we don't know, we have to focus on ourselves. That's what we do, and that's what we try, and we expect from ourselves. A really good game, like a game you can win, and not because your opponent, or because we have to show up. It's the last game for a long time, and that's why we want to finish on a high.
Thanks.
Hi.
You said that after the Tottenham game that your team had to fight, and that you liked that.
Yeah.
Was that something that you thought had been missing then early in the season?
No. It's just because I think we were clear better in the first half, and second half we became under pressure because of the very direct style, and that's why we then have to fight. But it's not the first time. I don't know exactly, but 1 or 2 years ago when we won a lot of games, there were not all games like easy going, like 4-0 up early and then try to manage the game and to play the time down. No, that's just all because everybody saw that Tottenham had good moments in the second half, forced that with a lot of crosses, long balls. But that's why I said it. No, it didn't lack before. We had problems. I'm not sure I saw you before, but we spoke about that pretty much all the time here, our problems. But step by step, we try to sort them, and then from there we can go.
How pleased are you with the link-up play between Robertson and Nunez? They really seem to understand each other.
Robbo is obviously used. He played now for a longer time with Sadio Mane on that wing. Then Luis covered that space pretty much. That's different, very different. And now Darwin is different as well. It's in this game it was together with Thiago and Robbo and Darwin. So yes, we know that Darwin can be a real threat offensively. Is actually. And defensively, there's for sure space for improvement because it's not natural to him to defend that position. But Thiago and our players there and Robbo or Costas as well know that, and that's why we have to adapt a little because we don't want to talk to him all the time about defending, and then all of a sudden he forgets how to attack. So we want to give him the freedom to feel like a striker in the offensive moments, and so yeah, that worked well. But there's still a lot of space for improvement, of course.
There's a break now, obviously, for the World Cup, but we all know that the Premier League is going to start again in December. So, how closely do you have to be working? You've got lots of players out playing in the World Cup.
Yeah.
How closely are you going to have to work, and what's the system you've got in place to keep up with your players and their fitness and their strengths for when they come back? Because you've got no time at all before you're playing again.
You mean the players who are at the World Cup?
Yeah, you're Liverpool.
Yeah, that's now a number. It's not too big important players for us, but it's now. But we have six, seven. How do you cut to 7? Okay, 7. Yeah, obviously for us very important players, but we have a clear rule how it is with international games. The boys have to text me if there are any issues, and especially after the game, because by the World Cup it's different. We can see all the games and we see he's playing, he's not playing. We can probably read the news because in World Cup you get all the information. When there's a normal international game then and Brazil plays, it's tricky to get any kind of information. So that we need the players to tell us, no, fine, 90 minutes, but okay. And that's the contact we will have definitely. Players group is clear when they are winning, then the WhatsApp group will get bonkers, and that's how it is. But that's really now no problem. Anyway, we are in the training camp in Dubai, so that's around the corner. So if somebody has to leave the tournament early, they can join us immediately. That's one of the reasons why we go there. Thank you.
Yeah, just to follow on from that, really, do you feel that it's, I don't know if benefit's the right word, that so few players that you are going to compete in the World Cup compared to the teams in the Premier League and other competitions that you're competing with? So you've got more time.
Well, it's not. It's that's no. I don't know. So yeah, City has. I don't know how many, but sorry. Yeah, of course, double figures. We would usually have Diogo as well going to World Cup, and we are already at 8. Probably some others. Let me think. If there would be in a slightly different situation, not injured or stuff like this, then they might have made it as well. So no, I'm happy about the number of players we have for our training, for our preseason. That's a good number. Positions are covered, so should have 2 centre halves, 3, 4 fullbacks, so enough midfielders. Front line, pretty much. Lucho is now running outside, looks really good. So that's positive, of course. So that's how we use it. But now moaning about the players who are the World Cup, no. And that's I think it's enough, to be honest. There are enough players go, and we need them all back healthy, definitely. But because then it's a really long season to come with a lot of games, and it starts early But from that moment on, there's no rest again. So that's the problem. Obviously, when you go now, it's now between the last match day and the first match day, I think it's around about 6 weeks. So, okay, with Carabao Cup, maybe only 5.5 weeks. But if you only play 3 games now and go out after group stage, then it's obviously, there's no real problem. And you have still time to train and afterwards rest a little bit and these kind of things. If you go through to the final or to the semis, at least, because we play for the 3rd place as well. yeah, then it's really long. There's a lot of games then in that period, but it will not happen for everybody. Somebody has to get out of the tournament in the end, at least as far as I'm concerned, and that's the situation. No, it's for all players difficult who are playing there. But how I said, going out after group stage then it's a normal. Then you have 3 games in 10, 12 days, something like that, and the rest you can rest and prepare. That would be okay for the guys who are really successful. It's very intense. But I don't know, does Southampton have a player who is going to the World Cup? Yes? Oh, the German one, yeah. Of course, sorry. Yeah, but so now that's the situation. I have plenty of Premier League clubs who are not that. Don't know exactly about Aston Villa, who is our first opponent after. So they have a real break, new manager, and a real preseason, and probably nearly all the players together. So for them, it's really good. And that's for all the teams who have players at the World Cup. The more you have, the lesser good it is, because the lesser time you have to work together and work and prepare for the rest of the season. Because as intense it was now, the real intense part will come, and that's the situation.
Just to pick up on something you said about Trent, it was nice to be, the word you used there, to be part of Gareth Southgate's World Cup squad. So you said he was very pleased. Was there just that slight element of doubt that he wouldn't be involved?
Oh, I didn't speak to him, and I know Trent now long enough. I don't think he knows he has. Apart from playing football, he has no influence. There's a lot of talk around and these kind of things. When you think about Trent, and I heard now that Gary Neville said something in the big games or whatever, in the knockout games he cannot play. I'm not sure he said it really or somebody just wrote it down and changed the words a little bit. I have no clue. But Trent Alexander-Arnold is now 24, I think. He won quite a few finals. That's a very important game where you have to defend. We played finals against Chelsea last year, for example. Both finals were incredibly intense, and top-class players, world-class players, in moments better than players they face at the World Cup, definitely. Like in the finals we played with Tottenham, Real Madrid, all the others, these kind of things. And he always was there, and always defended well. I don't know exactly why we have this discussion, but it's fine. So when you have the choice between 4 or 5, now it's not that many anymore, and Walker is kind of fit. That means, and Reece James obviously is not available. So these kind of things. But I think Gareth is very happy that he has Trent as well. So and Trent took it. He's very calm and these kind of things. So he plays the football he plays, tries to improve, tries to develop. But I think he would have been disappointed if he had not been there, and I'm not sure if he was in doubt or whatever. But with all the discussions, at least the discussions I followed, if everybody would have been available, then it's not unlikely that, or at least it could have happened, that you don't take 4 fullbacks to a World Cup. I think makes sense. 4 right fullbacks, by the way. Some of them can play left as well. So it's all good. And I saw his face, and I realized he's really happy about it. But,
yeah, again, nice reward for Ibrahim Konate to get a place in the French squad for the World Cup.
yeah.
He was fabulous against Tottenham. I know he's had his injury problems, but he's got that sort of controlled aggression, anticipation. He appears to be getting better at reading what's going to happen. How would you assess his progress since he came to the club?
Yeah, good, very good, of course, but he was really good before. So not that we can say that he learned everything here. That's not true. He was an outstanding player in Germany in the Bundesliga. So yeah, so other players were a bit unlucky with the World Cup. He was not lucky with it because he came back in time. It's not his first part, not his season so far, obviously, because he was long term out. Directly after preseason, bam, out for a long time, and then again out, stuff like this. So that's not perfect, but for him it worked really well, and he deserves it, definitely. France obviously has an incredible amount of not only centre halves but centre halves as well, all over the play in top clubs all over the world, and make the cut there is a big one. And he's still a very young man, so yeah, he was very pleased as well. So he was very. I think he needed something to get a smile out of his face. So he's really happy about it, and it's a big achievement, definitely.
Query, Kelleher had his name in lights.
He will not be at the World Cup, right?
Maybe next time around.
Yeah.
But obviously, the penalty shootout aspect is something that grabs the headlines. But more than that, he's a fabulous goalkeeper.
He is.
And do you fear at any time in the not too distant future a knock on the door, and for him, you know, for his career to progress properly, he needs to be playing first team football, you think?
First and foremost, with all the things he did so far, he became the goalie he is now. So it's now not that we would think he would be even better or whatever. Queef is an outstanding goalie. Is our goalie. That's absolutely great. Club like us, with all the games we have, needs a goalie of his quality, definitely. But if we have something to talk about, then I think it would make sense that we speak in between. It's clear that he has the ambition to be the number one, all these kind of things, but everything must be right. And being the number one in the wrong club, and all of a sudden you look not like you're not that good a goalie. So he needs, our style suits him very well, because really calm on the ball as well. You can involve in build-up play. So he's like the blonde version of Ali. You can learn from, I have to say it because it's true, from an incredible, dedicated goalkeeper coaching staff. These boys, they are special coaches. They are. And I really like how they work, because there's not only Queef, we have Marcello as well, we have Harvey as well. Of course, Adrian is there, who always delivered when was needed. Perfect professional. So many role models. And then Ali, who combines pretty much everything. This department is really exciting with what's coming up and stuff like this. So, and Queef. We don't hold back praise or whatever. It's not that we say, oh, it's not that good. No, he is really good. He's really, really good. And we are really happy to have him. But again, he started with the preseason, since when he's in training? Since 4 weeks? 3 weeks? Before that, he was not available. So, yeah. Has to stay fit, definitely, and then the future is bright, and we all hope it's here.
In this unprecedented season, when we've got a World Cup starting a week after the Premier League, after a Premier League match, I'm just wondering how difficult it might be for those players who are going for World Cup into the final game before they go.
So we are professionals, and the boys play the game like they play the game. So that's they always play the game. So with full focus. So everything can happen in a football game. That's how it is. But if you go to the World Cup and you think, we made it, and you have a deep breath, and then you get injured in the first game, I'm not sure which is the bigger disappointment. So they have to perform on highest level. You have to focus on the things you do in the moment, and you cannot think about the next possible thing, whatever. And now obviously because we changed a lot during the week. We had yesterday already a session. Everybody looked like really buzzing, going for it. And we know this is incredibly important. This is our World Cup, if you want, the Southampton game. That's how it is. We had obviously a tricky first part of the season. Definitely, we spoke enough about it, and we all saw it. But if we can win this game, it would make 22, and it gives us kind of a distance where we can see light at the end of the tunnel, and that's exactly the mindset all the boys have as well. So I think we don't make a big fuss of it. It's now that I ask every day, how are you, and do you think about the World Cup? We don't talk about the World Cup. This is the situation, and the boys who got nominated, great, and if some others weren't got nominated, that's not cool. But apart from that, it's just our situation here, and that means Southampton. How cool. So nobody's out from the players we had available for midweek or for the last game, I would say. Millie is back in training today. Nabi is out and running. Lucho is back on the pitch and running. Who else could? No, but from the... Oh, Joel trained. Trained with us, yeah, right. Joel was in... 3/4 of the... pretty much the whole session, but in the last bit he didn't do. But So he's now obviously available as well. Like would be available, but it's only trained once with the team.
Can I just ask about Harvey? He's played more games this season than any other player. In the performance off the bench in the league was sort of that of a senior player. Do you think he's gone past that point now where he's a young talent and now he's become established?
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. It's not. It's yes, but that we trust him. I think it's obvious that he, in the group, he's like all the other boys. It's like that's really nice to see. But it's really with, Fabio especially, but with all the other kids around, Stefan and Bobby, Calvin. It's we have obviously a lot of young players, and he's not that he's now standing in front of them and hold speeches and tell them how was my house about the big games he played or whatever. No, he doesn't have to. He just he has to be mature on the pitch, to be honest, and all the rest is biological. Will happen step by step. It's all fine. It was that he took then. Actually, you know that we obviously have the company working together with the penalties, stuff like this, and that it was the clear proposal that he will have the fifth one. So it's a sign as well. He's an incredible player and incredible talent, and the direction is the right one. Let me say like this.
Last one for James before the embargo.
Jürgen, just in terms of the ownership, you said the other night, while this process is ongoing, we need to keep planning. But from your understanding, will there be any impact in the meantime while this process is going on in terms of investment in the squad, or is it business as usual in terms of money being available?
No, but it's not about money or whatever. You have to you plan. So it's definitely going on. So clear. And let me say it like this: I'm very positive about the whole thing, because either way it will be fine. And I really have a really close relationship to our owner. So and means I always knew what we can do, what we can't do, all these kind of things. It was not when we were discussing. It's not that we always that I ask for something, they say no, and then I stop asking. So it's just before we speak to you, there are plenty of discussions. So now we have to see what we do. It's nothing decided or whatever. What we will do in the winter, or yes or no, these kind of things. We really have to see. We have time until then, obviously, but we follow the market all the time, every day. There's no player in the world who scores a goal and we don't know it. That's how it is. And if somebody makes a save, or we know it, and that's the situation. That's what I said. That's what will go on. So it's that's clear. But all the rest, we cannot. We are not involved, obviously, in these things, and that's okay. We have to focus on football, and that's what we do.